Coming up on Pop Muckers, a passerby accuses us of being conservatives. Strangers smooching. How we plan to survive World War III. And this just in. Day 7 among the humans. They have yet to show any signs of suspicions that I am not one of them. All hail Xenu!
You are listening to the Pop Mockers Comedy Podcast. And here are your hosts, Chris Quant, Nate Henderson, and Chris Cowan.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Pop Mockers. As you heard by that professional voiceover artist, my name is Chris Cowan.
I am Chris Quant.
And I'm Nate Henderson.
I like how he said it better than how I said it. Wow.
There you go, guys. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
That
was fun.
Tell me the truth, Cowan.
Yes.
Did he mess up on the order of the names, and you just decided you had to roll with it?
No.
Oh, because that was quite an act of humility, sir. I must say. Last billing.
No, the last shall be first. It was absolutely intentional.
Okay, fair enough. You're like,
it's building up.
You're like explaining to the announcer guys, look, I don't care. I just want my money. That's
First guy loser. Second guy doesn't matter. Third guy,
I read you.
He leads it.
Oh, that's right. We each owe you 10. Anyway, what's going on?
It was a build-up. It was a build-up to the grand finale.
I like it.
Nice, Cal.
That was very nice.
Thank you.
You
great.
are listening to Pop Mockers. We make fun. This is the show where we mock pop culture, modern society, social media, each other. Pretty much you name it, we mock it.
Yes.
Hence the name.
That's what we do.
This is episode 23, brought to you the year of our Lord. Brought to you March 12th, the year of our Lord 2014. Got that one all screwed
23!
up. Yes, episode 23. Yes.
How many did you want to actually achieve this year?
40.
40.
40.
Well, we haven't done 23 this year.
No, I think we've had about 5 or 6
About
this
10.
year. 10 this
Yeah.
year. 10? Really? No, not 10 yet.
No, I think we're pretty darn close.
I think we're close, but I think we started around, I think we've done 8.
Point
so
is
far.
we're doing a pretty good clip here, fellas.
Yes. Yeah.
We're on the road.
Let us not argue about simple, trivial
Don't
things like
bicker and
numbers.
argue. So this episode we got some cool stuff. I did notice for a couple of these there might start to be a sort of incidental theme, and we'll kind of uncover that as we go along. But let's go ahead and kick things off with our first segment, which is weekly updates. It's the one segment for which I have no sound effect.
One day.
And one day I'll work on it. Maybe with another professional voiceover artist. I have no idea. We'll see.
Yes.
So what's new, guys? What you got for the weekly update?
Got anything?
I do.
All right, go for it.
I guess I'll lead us off again.
Yep.
The other day, we were in Target, gentlemen. The Wonderland of Target.
Oh, yes.
And just going around, learned an interesting lesson. When you leave Target, having a shopping cart, and you don't buy anything, check the bottom of the cart to see if you've taken your wife's purse, or have your wife check the bottom of the cart to see if she's taken her purse.
Oh.
About half hour later, hey, where's my purse?
Oh, jeez.
And then it's that frantic, where did we leave it last?
Oh, my gosh.
Did you take it out of the cart? No, I didn't take it out of the cart. Did you take it out of the cart? No, I didn't take it out of the cart. So head back to Target, praying, like, all the grocery money's in there, cell phones in there, all the IDs in there. So that's the side story. One of the stories that's going on. Okay, you go to the counter, the customer service counter, to see if they have your purse. My oldest son has to go to the bathroom. So I'm like...
Priorities.
I'm like pointing her that way, like trying to think, like, you know, how your mind's just frantically searching. Okay, how much cash and we just spent money over at this store, and I might have to take that back.
Now,
to cover
question:
this.
Did you leave your cart in the parking lot?
No, it was in the store.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in the store. So fortunately, we did that
Because I would almost think you would have a better chance recovering it if you just left it in the parking lot and it was still there.
Left it right in the entryway of the store because we didn't buy anything. So we just put the cart with the other carts, and walked out.
Yeah.
So her and my youngest son are going that way, and I know that I need to follow my oldest son to the bathroom. So he's kind of out of the corner of my eye is walking towards the bathroom, and I'm following him, and I follow him around the door that I think that he went in, and I walk about 3/4 away in and notice I just walked into the women's room.
Nice.
And it's one of those things where you kind of walk in and it kind of dawns on you, wait a second, I've been to this Target before and I don't remember walking through this door.
There's
I
nothing
remember
but
there being
stalls.
urinals
That's right.
There's a lot of stalls here.
and a little less women.
So let me ask you this.
And so I backed
Did you
to the door.
commit?
Well, no, I backed to the door and I looked at the sign on the door and just kind of like, just slowly backed away from the door. And I
Nice.
thought, he's on his own. If he's in there, so I went into the men's restroom thinking, look for me.
Of course.
Nope, he went into the women's room.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So I'm just praying that my wife over there is getting her purse and hoping that my son actually walked into the women's restroom and will be coming out at some point because I'm not going in to check.
Oh my
And
gosh.
see if he's
Wow.
there. So good news is purse was there, everything recovered, and my son
Nice.
came out of the women's restroom
There you go.
relieved.
We lost a diaper bag under similar
Did
circumstances.
you? Like completely lost.
Well, completely lost. Yeah, we left it in a grocery cart at Walmart
Too bad.
in the parking lot, and when we returned, somebody had taken it as their own and adopted
themselves.
it. So
That's because it was Walmart.
Give it a good
yeah, it was Walmart. Target, that kind of shenanigans doesn't.
No,
Target's-
nobody. Yes.
High class Target.
Target is the Walmart for people who don't like the people who go to Walmart. Have you guys ever?
Nothing unscrupulous has ever happened at a Target. Certainly not like 40 million people losing their identity. But what's up?
Which I was one of them,
Had
by
to
the way.
change my debit card thanks to that.
Yeah,
Thank
me
you,
too.
Target.
Yeah. Got a new one in the mail.
Jeez.
Thanks a lot.
Something wrong? Do we have a shutdown?
Oh yeah, no. Somebody in the chat room was saying that it was muted for them, but it's just them. Sorry,
It's
Heather.
Mute your
just them.
computer.
It's just them.
Stop messing with our audience, Quant.
Sorry.
Well, I was going to ask Nate your question earlier.
What's that?
Did you commit? Have you ever? Are you speaking from experience? Have you ever walked into a women's restroom and just decided to commit?
The only time I've ever done that, and this is really not the authentic thing, is when you like walk into like a one person bathroom.
Oh, that's
you know what I'm
fine,
saying?
yeah.
Like, because then you're just like, you can lock the door, you can make it your own, you can destroy it, whatever you
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
Walk out with a smile on your face as a woman looks at you in horror.
Look what I did.
Yes. No, I've never committed to a more than one toilet women's restroom.
Have you
let's just
been?
say
I
that.
did.
Have you? Have you had to
one
do that?
time?
Okay.
When I was young, but it was only because I didn't really realize until I walked out.
Yeah, I mean, when you're, young and naive,
Yeah.
it's bound to happen.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean,
only-
I was at
yeah.
least 23, if not younger.
Oh, yeah.
You were a
Well,
young.
then you're perfectly
You were
justified.
a,
I mean, at 23.
Yeah, I mean, you do all
Nobody's
kinds of
gonna say
stupid
anything.
stuff.
you were a spring
on.
chicken. Nobody can.
Have
hold
you been
accountable.
into the family bathrooms at the mall? Have you?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's a bit awkward, but if you've got little kids, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, we're all in here. Okay.
Yeah, you almost feel like elite.
Or if
privileged.
you and your wife are just looking for a place to make out.
That's
There's
true.
Yeah,
that too.
you're like, see, babe, we get to use this bathroom because
Check
we
it out.
decided to have kids.
No, it's
No, go ahead.
well, it's funny because I did use a women's restroom
if you say to make out, I'm going to be very upset. Okay,
in the not too distant past. But it was a one person restroom,
right.
And
And you were wearing a dress.
and I was wearing a dress
makes sense.
as I usually do on Saturday nights.
yeah.
And it was at a Starbucks, and the men's room had been occupied for like half an hour.
Wow. Okay.
And I had
yeah.
Somebody was
Yeah.
was making an evening of it.
I had
Taking a shower at the sink.
I had nature calling because, it's coffee. Coffee does things.
Yes,
And-
My dad would
yes,
say, you
yes.
don't drink coffee, you rent it.
And so finally I'm like, okay, I got to just go for it. It's a one-person
That- you
restaurant.
gotta
What's
go
the
for
worst
it.
that can happen?
You're gonna be hating life. if
And
you don't.
I destroyed that bathroom.
Attaboy.
And then, of course, there's like nobody waiting for the women's restroom
just
at all.
Of course.
and then there's
And then, as soon as I destroy it,
Of course.
I'm like, I come out. and First of all, just coming out of a woman's restroom, not the most, comfortable.
Already you're looking like you
experience.
might have an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm coming out of the women's restroom, and this girl gives me a weird look, and I'm just like, oh, crap.
That
I
won't
just
be the
totally
weirdest look on her
yeah.
face. Yeah.
No, she's going to be even more. Oh, my gosh. So
I'd give it a minute.
I'm like,
or
you know what?
two.
I think it's time to leave. So
She didn't call the authorities until after she smelled what was inside there.
I thought it was the guy with the kilt on the door. Is that not?
No.
No?
Is that not-
All right.
I'm Scottish. I can't help myself.
I
don't
don't believe
speak
that
your
restrooms should
language.
fall into society's preconceived
I
notions
did
of
notice-
gender.
Way to go, creeper.
I did notice at Target there was, separate from all the others, there was a bathroom. I thought it was an employee, but it was marked unisex. Have you seen these yet?
Like an actual
I've heard
sign?
of them.
Yeah, it said unisex bathroom.
Can't say I have.
Never noticed.
Those are for the eunuchs.
Right.
Oh, that makes sense.
So when
Right.
visiting royalty,
I would
comes-
hate to be the security guard that has to check.
Yeah.
It looked very spacious. I don't know what that
You
has
mean
to
the
do with anything.
bathroom?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The security? Never mind.
Never mind.
So what's
Anywho.
your weekly update, Nate?
My weekly update, it's not so much, it didn't involve me. I have the privilege of teaching, of tutoring high school students here and there, which I just did earlier this evening. And one of my students told me a very humorous story, and I don't know why I cracked up at it. It was particularly because of the subject matter, but apparently he told me about earlier today in his math class. I guess there's somebody in his math class that has Tourette's.
Oh.
And it's a very mild form of Tourette's.
Is it like actual verbal Tourette's?
Yeah.
or is
It's
it like
verbal.
physical?
It's
It's
verbal.
the one we
Yeah.
all think of.
It's verbal. He just says weird stuff, and he can't. They've determined it's Tourette's and stuff like that, but he can't. So you know, I
that's
don't
what
think
I
that-
have.
Yeah. Well, we've known that for a long time. We actually were hoping you'd get
ready to-
tested.
I'll
dumb
feel a lot
button.
better if I have some kind of label on it at least.
Because
I
I
can
was
just be like, it's okay, I have Tourette's, you bastard. Sorry, it's the Tourette's again.
Yes, Tourette's has a very wide spectrum. So so anyway, they're doing math. They're doing math, and I guess the guy's name was the guy with the Tourette's. His name was Nick, and Nick was just kind of walking around the classroom, just kind of doing his own thing, you know, looking out the window, and everybody else is working on the assignment. And the teacher says, "Nick, could you please sit down and do your assignment with everyone else?"
Ooh.
And
What grade
and so
level are we talking
think-
about?
What's that?
What grade level are we talking about?
Sophomore.
Oh, okay. High
Junior.
school.
High
All
school.
right. All right,
You know,
fair enough.
sort of thing. And so Nick turns to the teacher, and you would think, you know, somebody with Tourette's, let's get ready for anything, you know? Nick turns to the teacher, looks at him very seriously, and says two words. Oh, boy. He looks at the teacher and says, "Pizza time."
My mind at that moment that was well set up. 'Cause I'm like,
so my
here it comes.
yeah, so you can. Now I had to clarify this with my student. I said it's very important that I know this. Don't ask me why. Did he say it's pizza time, or did he just say pizza time? And my student looks right back at me and he points to me and he's like, "Pizza time." So. Gentlemen, I think I'm going to make that a phrase that I say when I don't know what to say. When somebody accuses me of doing something, when my wife asks why something wasn't picked up, I'm going to look at her and just be like, "Babe, pizza time."
Yes.
So needless to say, the whole entire class, when he said that, was just dying because they never know what to expect with Nick. He's a grab bag of fun every
Oh my
single day.
gosh.
I just thought that was one of the best responses to a teacher reprimand I've ever
That's
heard in my
beautiful.
life.
That is
So,
awesome.
Yeah, let's hear it for Tourette's. A toast to Tourette's,
Toast to Tourette's.
ladies and
Tourette's.
So when you don't know what to say,
say
Pizza time. That's nice. I'm gonna have to start using that.
Totally.
That's awesome.
brilliant.
So I have a weekly update, but it's really our weekly update. You guys just don't know about it yet.
Okay.
But we received a voicemail during our last live stream,
Wow.
and I would like you guys to hear it. Because
We have not heard this, by the way.
No, this is
it warrants listening and responding.
in reflection.
Just the type of person who leaves this voicemail.
Oh wow! Was it a wrong number, or they were legitimately addressing us?
They were legitimately addressing.
Was this off of last week's?
This was last week.
What were we talking about?
No,
last
it
week?
has nothing to do with that. Just listen
all
to
right,
this.
all right.
So here we go.
Here we go.
It's loading. Here we go.
Hey, fellas. John calling in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Stumbled upon your live broadcast, and I was calling specifically about a question about your banner picture at the top of your page. Just based on the picture, I'm guessing a few things about you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1, conservative. 2, Republican. And 3, very, very wealthy. I'm just basing that on the suit and the tie. So I guess my question is, why does the studio look like you've not invested any capital in it? I figure that men of your means could probably go ahead and do something about that. So quit being cheap, boys, and upgrade the studio. Thanks.
Thanks, John.
Wow.
Thoughts?
You know what? I think John sells studios. That can be my only explanation for that.
I'd like to kind of go back over this piece by piece.
Okay, all right.
Con's going to break this
By
down.
all
you don't
means,
mind.
you're going to break this down?
Sure.
Go right ahead.
Hey, fellas. John calling in from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
John, we know where you live now. We know your first name and your city.
There can't be
We
too
can
many
track
Johns in
you
New Mexico.
down.
That's right.
Stumbled upon your live broadcast, and I was calling specifically about a question about.
Did you hear a question?
Calling about a question.
I did not hear a question at any
Okay.
point during his voicemail.
I never ask questions of our audience because I never want
Maybe
to
it's a
answer.
question he has in his
what-
head. Maybe he's forming the question now.
Okay.
Maybe. That's a good point.
Your banner picture at the top of your page.
So he's talking about the banner picture. If you go to popmonkers.com, I assume
Yes.
he's talking about the picture of the three of us
Yeah.
in suits.
I think we look pretty spiffy.
We do look pretty spiffy. So that's what he's basing his impression off of. So here you go.
Just based on the picture, I'm guessing a few things about you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1, conservative. 2, Republican.
That's conservative to Republican. Aren't those? I mean, if you're guessing
It's
conservative isn't
kind of-
Republican,
kind of
technically
synonymous.
one of us is not a Republican.
Yeah.
But generally speaking,
Yeah.
you know,
Quad's a full-blown hippie. I can
Yeah.
pretty much say
I
with
don't
confidence that
see
he's not a conservative
A
whatsoever.
lapel pin flag on any of our suits. One.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just start
Oh,
there.
I think it was my fault. I was wearing a ball cap that said "Go Mitt."
oh,
So that
that's
was-
what it was.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it was. That was
I
the
think
dead giveaway that we're conservative
collectively,
Republicans.
Our suits together are red, white, and bluish, except
think-
you're wearing orange.
You know what? Our color scheme is red, white, and blue.
I think collectively they're
Oh,
worth.
that's true. With
Our
pop
logo,
markers.
Pop Mockers logo, is red,
I
white,
think
and blue.
collectively our
America.
suits are worth $50. That's what I think.
I totally did not just go to the local thrift store and
And
pick out
grab a
random
jacket.
items and string those together for that photo. Not at all.
Apparently, John's never played dress up a day in his life. So, anywho,
Okay. Continue.
Very, very wealthy.
way off the mark there, pal. Like way, way off the mark.
It's like, okay, conservative. I don't know what clued you into that. Maybe the fact that we looked happy. That was the one thing I was thinking was like, okay, if you're like not a conservative podcast, then you're probably going for the super gritty. Look, and you're probably not going to look happy in your banner.
No.
And if you look at us, Nate's got his huge crap-eating grin, and
Yes, that's the
Quant's
grin
got
I
kind of
wear.
a smirk, and I just look
Cowan just looks
concerned.
mad.
I just look mad.
Just
Cowan
like
looks
any good
almost
Republican.
befuddled,
Yeah,
if you will.
So But good call out there. Good guess there.
As somebody who's just jealous that thinks, you know what, they can't ever be part of the 1%, and just because we appear to be, they're taking it out on us.
Thank goodness we weren't wearing our ascots. That was
Well, I had put my pipe down just before that shot was taken.
true.
Yeah.
The one where I just smoke $100 bills.
Or maybe the first two assumptions, the conservative Republican, are based on the fact that he already assumed that because we're dressed nicely, we're rich, and if you're rich, you must therefore be a conservative Republican.
Interesting.
Apparently.
You found the link.
I think that's the
Only
the
Republicans
link.
have money.
All right, let's finish this
right
drivel.
there.
I mean, message.
I'm just basing that on the suit and the tie. So I guess my question is, why does the studio
Okay, there's a question.
look like you've not invested any capital in it?
Invested any capital?
Because we're so rich.
Boy, how badly do you want to dissect this one, Cowan? First off, in order to invest capital, you need to have it in the first place.
Yeah.
It's nice that you're using capital instead of money. To
Which
make
we
yourself
don't.
Sound smart.
It's very clear that any money we make, Cowan spends on fancy microphones for himself, and that's fine. That's his prerogative. But that's where the capital's gone so far, sir. And I will back his selfish spending until the day I die.
Invested any like what is he expecting
Invested
from our
capital.
studio? I guess maybe he's expecting, because we stream live, that we should, and because we're so wealthy, we should have a full-on late night.
He wants to
with the
see.
pop mockers.
He wants to see the nice, plush, padded, dark rooms with the soft lighting, with
the city skyline
big-
in the background.
Yeah, good skyline.
The
Very
can
good.
mics in front of us with all the fancy swivels.
He's expecting Andy Richter to be here in the studio.
He
with
wants to
us.
see a glass pane with a producer behind the glass, giving us cues. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, track lighting all the way across. Like you said, nice and soft
John,
and gentle.
I'm so sorry we have not lived up to your expectations for what a fully functioning podcast should be.
Yeah.
I can only assume we'll make that our goal for the rest of the year.
Absolutely.
Start looking for studio space. I happen to know somebody who I think is selling it.
Albuquerque's a
Sorry,
bit of a
John.
commute, though.
Not interested. I'm not moving to New Mexico.
It's too hot there.
You guys are a bunch of freaks.
What I just love is, like, he's basing this all off of the banner, which means he hasn't actually listened to the live stream.
There were just a
hasn't-
few assumptions made.
He hasn't actually watched the show.
That's right.
Yeah, just all off one picture. Well done, John.
How about it, viewers at home?
I'm just wondering, like, what kind of guy, like, walks across a stream, looks at a banner, and says, I'm
"These
going to
guys are-
voicemail them, I'm going to make some assumptions about them, and then I'm going to make further assumptions based on those
These
original
guys
assumptions,
are rolling in it.
and leave them a voicemail."
You know what? To be fair, I am wearing a nice pair of khakis. How about it, viewers at home? How does it feel to look at the lap of luxury?
I did leave my Bentley in the shop today, and I had to drive the Merc in instead.
No, you have to downgrade.
It was inconvenient.
I'm surprised you even had the fortitude to show up.
No, it was a struggle.
Wow, what to say that we haven't said already?
Yeah, seriously.
Great,
Thanks.
great
Thanks,
message.
John.
I want more like that.
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, so for the rest of our listeners, or John, if you actually are listening, I doubt.
Yeah, right.
But for the rest of our listeners, I would like to know what your first impression was when you saw our banner, and why you think John came to the conclusions he came to. Because I'm very curious,
That's a very good
especially about the conservative Republican angle. It's
Because he's an
very-
angry liberal, that's why.
That's why. All right, that brings us to Bob Drops. This is the part of the show where we choose a random, just a little tidbit, just dissect a little slice from popular culture, and we react to it.
There's definitely a reaction on this one.
So today, this so you may have seen this floating around the Weber nets. It has shown up on my Facebook feed on several occasions today,
Yep, showed up on mine today.
Did it now?
and it is called
For those of us that don't work and just are on Facebook all day.
Strangers Kissing.
Yeah.
and it basically involves strangers. Here's the clincher:
Wait for it.
kissing.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Yes. Yep. It's apparently some short little film somebody was feeling artistic about.
It's
and-
artsy, one, because it's in black and white.
That's right.
And two, it's shot from two different angles.
What?
Yes.
Yep.
That's
And the
as
camera
artsy
kind of
as-
moves.
That's
a
as
little
artsy
bit.
as it
and
can
it
get.
involves a gimmick. And basically, as we watched some short clips from it just before the podcast, and basically it involves two strangers being put together. I don't know if they were able to, have any say in who they were partnered up with at all, but they were put with another stranger and asked to kiss for the first time
And the
while
cameras
being
were
filmed.
rolling.
While the cameras were rolling.
Yes.
And what really gets me is, okay, fine, I get that. That's a fun little social experiment, and it's it is what it is. And they had all kinds of different couples kissing.
Boy, did they.
Heterosexual, homosexual. They had a young man and an elderly woman. I'd say not elderly.
is a little strong.
I'd call her vintage.
Definitely cougar territory.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
cougar, but just
no,
past.
Sabretooth.
Okay, yeah, I'd say that's
Saber-tooth or
fair.
panther.
Yeah.
One of those.
I forget the
I think
What-
Sabretooth
whatever.
is
Leopard.
Sabretooth is,
Leopard.
Fair
is
enough.
accurate.
All right.
She was older.
Jeez.
So she.
Good Lord.
So that's all it is. Is it's these couples, and they have this awkward moment, and
Right.
then they kiss,
Right.
and that whatever. That's cool if that's what you want to film. But people are sharing this like it's the most touching thing ever.
I know.
And they're like
will make your
commenting,
heart
"Oh my
melt."
gosh, I got goosebumps when I watched this," and "Oh, it was such a beautiful thing." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?
I cried.
Are you freaking kidding me? These are random horny strangers just slapped together and let's make out
that-
randomly."
Cowan is the
With
key word.
no actual commitment or emotions behind
connection.
it, just no connection, just complete, just
No, see, here's the thing. You hit the word, which is horny, because
Yeah.
I think average people who, okay, if I take part in this social experiment, being in theater, that's going to be my premise to this, you have to sometimes do a stage kiss to somebody who you haven't known for very long. In my experience, you don't approach it the way these folks approached it. Approached it?
you don't generally
approach-
approach
You don't
it tongue first.
Tongue
for
first with your
example.
mouth wide open.
Going in
Yeah.
for the kill.
Like, there was not very much room in between these individuals' bodies by the time this was done.
Oh my goodness.
No, this is not a genuine first kiss. I'm calling malarkey on this
Oh,
video.
really? So you think this
He
is?
thinks it's full
You
of-
think this
I
is
think
in
it's-
league with the hoverboard?
I think they're all
incident.
standing on hoverboards
Oh
in this video.
man.
Is that the term we're using for when we're calling people on their craft? I think you're standing
I
on
don't
a
know.
hoverboard.
Standing on a hoverboard.
If you're the type of person to sign up for, hey, we're making a movie about strangers kissing random people,
Right.
you're probably the kind of person who's more inclined to
That's true.
Be more
go tongue
a little
first.
bit more passionate.
Yeah,
That's very true.
but
That was good, but let's
to,
get a second take here. This
Yeah.
time I want you guys to really go for it. But this will be like it's
holds
genuine.
barred. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to tout this as anything other than, look, here's a social experiment gimmick. To tout it as something like, oh, beautiful, this says so much about whatever it is
This
that
says so
it's
much
supposed to be
about
saying something
life.
about.
Yeah.
Says so much about how all these Abercrombie and Fitch looking young people really
Question.
like to make out with other Abercrombie
Question.
and Fitch looking
And I'm
young
going to
people.
go a little deep on this one,
Okay.
so forgive me.
All right.
The world today is terrified of one little word: commitment.
Ooh.
Do you think
Okay.
there is such approval for this video because it is a shining example in their eyes of how you can share something so beautiful and so close without actually being committed to one another?
Nate, you know what? You're starting to sound a lot like a conservative
Oh,
Republican
my
right now,
gosh.
and I wish that you would.
Tell you what, I will sell one of my 4 cars back to being a moderate.
There you go. All right, fine.
Back to the middle.
Welcome
Back to the middle. Sorry, John.
You're gonna have to sell your vacation house too.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there is kind of a movement of like, oh, you know, you don't need commitment to have love.
To have that beauty.
The physical or emotional thing you get swept up in. And that's absolutely what that video is. So I will have the link in the show notes. It might not be work appropriate or child appropriate, or we didn't actually.
Whatever you
we didn't make it
consider
all the
is
way through.
Yeah, we didn't finish it.
But
Make love, not war.
Well, and frankly, just three guys in a room watching a bunch of people make out. That's just not really our style.
It got really weird because then we started we got swept up and we started making out.
Cowan and Quant. Look, let's just say that it was a good
there was
thing
a
the live
camera
stream
in the
wasn't
room.
on. It was just
It was authentic. It was a moment. All right?
Guys,
think
we
the
might
word
need to
you're
make our own
looking at-
not strangers.
I think the
kissing.
word you're looking for.
Familiar people kissing.
familiar people kissing.
The video would just consist of us being, why are we doing this? Are we seriously
What is going
doing?
on?
Are we about what? Really?
Is this happening?
What's the purpose of this? We're not even getting
Who's
paid.
going first?
Oh, okay. Anywho, next.
All right.
Why do they call it jumbo shrimp? I'm bored at home, just clipping my toenails. Anybody want to do anything tonight? I totally love strawberries.
Going swimming in my new Speedo. I know you guys are jealous. Hello.
Anybody want to join my mafia?
Facebook police.
This, of course, is the part of the show where we usually issue citations for Facebook fails. Maybe, full on. Not just sometimes it's misdemeanors, sometimes it's full on. You should be beheaded. That's
right.
Yeah.
In this case, it was actually a gem that I discovered. This was posted on a Facebook group of which I am a part.
This is great.
And I think it's pretty awesome. If you get offended by this, then that's sort of part of the point.
Right.
John in Albuquerque or wherever you are.
But mainly the point of this, I think, is to just make fun of some common stories that make the rounds on the internet via Facebook or email or whatever. So hopefully you'll get this. So here's the story that's being shared. A liberal Muslim homosexual ACLU lawyer, professor, and abortion doctor was teaching a class on Karl Marx. Before the class begins, you must get on your knees and worship Marx and accept that he was the most highly evolved being the world has ever known, even greater than Jesus Christ. At this moment, a brave, patriotic, pro-life Navy SEAL champion who had served 15 tours of duty and understood the necessity of war and fully supported all military decisions made by the United States stood up and held a rock. How old is this rock? The arrogant professor smirked Jewishly and smugly replied, 4.6 billion years, you stupid Christian. Wrong. It's been 6,000 years since God created it. If it was 4.6 billion years old and evolution, as you say, is real, then it should be an animal now. The professor was visibly shaken, dropped his chalk and copy of The Origin of Species, and stormed out the room crying liberal crocodile tears. The students applauded and all registered Republican on that day. An eagle named Small Government flew into the room and perched atop the American flag, shedding a tear on the chalk. The Pledge of Allegiance was read several times, and Herman Cain showed up to enact a flat tax rate across the country. The professor lost his tenure and was fired the next day. Jeez. He later died of gay AIDS and spent eternity burning in a lake of fire. Semper Fi, close the borders.
Oh, wow.
Whoever wrote that, brilliant.
I hope that was somebody's college essay.
Jesus.
Yeah, college thesis.
Could you imagine that on the on like a blue book examination in your final essay?
I know.
Yeah.
Just write that.
Yeah.
You just
Oh,
let it.
man.
I don't care about this class. I've missed more days than counted. I'm going to fail anyway. Eat it.
That's awesome.
That
Not
is
a whole lot to be
fantastic.
said about that.
Yeah, that's I thought that was too awesome to pass up.
For
So
itself.
Yeah.
I apologize if you were offended, but you got to admit that is pretty funny, no matter what side of the aisle you're on.
That's
That is, it makes fun of those
Well
funny
done.
kind of one-sided stories that make the rounds.
That we've all read.
That's right.
On the internet. Oh
yeah, exactly.
Are you troubled by the strange ending to Sherlock? Do you experience feeling of dread while waiting for Doctor Who to return? Have you or your family actually seen Orphan Black, Person of Interest, or Sleepy Hollow? If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Log in to the home of all things geek, the Earth Station One Network.
Our podcasts are on call 24 hours a day to serve all your geek needs.
The ESO Network will be right there.
We're ready to geek out with you.
Be part of the crew at esonetwork.com.
The ESO Network, your station for all things geek. Classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at esonetwork.com.
Weekly topic.
Yeah. This is the part of the show where we choose a topic for each week, and then we talk about it.
Yes.
Dang Skippy.
Today's topic, in light of recent news, Russia, did you guys know that Russia invaded the Ukraine?
Yes, indeed.
No, there's just soldiers there. They don't have any insignias on their uniforms. I don't think we can say it's Russia.
Oh, that's true. It could be anybody
It's like
that borders
the Peace
the
Corps
Ukraine.
or something like that.
Could be anybody that's been eyeing the Ukraine for quite some time.
And only in the mineral-rich area part of it.
Yeah.
Just happens to be
Anyway,
around Russia.
sorry.
Anyway,
Well, I think it's pretty clear what's going to happen next. World War III.
Oh,
wow.
What were you thinking it would be?
just one long party.
Yeah, hopefully they'd have a delegation go in and actually sort things out peacefully. But hey, let's
No,
worst
World War
case
III.
scenario.
World War
was-
III.
Nope, Dennis Rodman was
Worst
gonna come
case. That's right. Dennis is going to clear everything up.
in. World War III.
Yeah, if Dennis goes in, there's World War III for sure. Yeah.
Putin's my
Putin's my boy.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Are you seriously
my friend.
attempting to do
No,
a Dennis
okay.
Rodman impression right now? That's awesome.
All right. So what we decided we would talk about this week is what our plans are now that World War III is upon us as a fact. It's not just hyperbole. That's just what's happening.
Sure. Okay.
Not
Fair enough.
being alarmist.
This is
at
about
all.
to get real.
Yeah.
Who do you think the major players involved in this war are going to be?
Well, I think as you said, Dennis Rodman.
Oh, for sure. He's one whole faction, right? And then
yeah.
Sure.
I'd say Putin,
Iceland.
as they say. He's Putin the USSR back together. Yeah, I think Iceland is going to be a major player.
Contender.
I think who else?
Iceland with Morocco, kind of the same
Yeah,
thing.
Don't count out Madagascar.
Oh, good point.
it's true. It's
got
true.
it.
I think Jamaica might get involved.
And Tasmania may be a force. You've seen the cartoon.
And if they ally, we're done. We
Jamaica,
are
Tasmania.
done. They'll kill us at bobsledding.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Bobsled, nice. Yeah, so I don't know. Who do you think are the major players?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
me neither.
I really
Yeah.
don't. That's why we get to wait and see.
Fun. That's yeah. You don't want to
Really,
spoil the
whoever's willing to press the nuke button, I think, is pretty much going to be the contenders.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Well, since every country has
Iran.
access to them, it'll
Yeah.
be fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what are you guys going to do to survive World War III? Who wants to kick us off? We can each take turns.
That's true. Yeah.
I, for one...
Any honorable mentions?
Sure. I don't have any.
All right.
Do you?
I have no honorable or dishonorable mentions.
I, for one, gentlemen, plan to go and live in a cabin in the woods.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
You already do.
You already do. So you're set.
Checked off the list.
You're set.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but who are you going to call when a raccoon comes by?
Wait for number 2.
There you go.
So I'm just going to be looking for the most dense thing I can find and hide in there. So probably Nancy Pelosi's brain.
Conservative.
Now, all you're doing is reinforcing John's accusations.
That's what I figured. Was like I said, there kind of wound up being a little bit of a theme going on.
You are playing up to stereotypes, sir.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I balanced it out with that whole, atheist, communist professor.
That's very true.
thing.
That's
so
very true.
America.
So
yeah. All right, what you got?
I think I'm going to increase my enjoyment of post-apocalyptic video games. Because I figure
It's all preparations. It's all practice.
If I can master shooting, zombies. There we go. Some people, some games have zombie modes. I figure I'll stand a greater chance. Real guns overrated. It's about the hand-eye coordination. I think when it really comes down.
They come to your house. You settle this dispute
exactly
on the telly.
Exactly. And if I can beat other 8-year-olds that are playing across the country, I think I stand a chance when the zombie horde. No, let's just worst case scenario, gentlemen.
Let's call it what
if there's nuclear weapons, there will be the undead on the earth.
Especially if chemical weapons are involved.
It's a given.
It's
a given. The combination of the two, you have nuclear zombies. Need I say more?
Ooh. Yeah.
So that's an honorable mention.
For all we know, they could just start, lacing our water supply with bath salts, and then there it is. There's the zombie apocalypse right there.
We're done. Yeah. So you're next, Quant.
I got my wife bath salts for Valentine's Day, and I thought she would appreciate it. But then when she started trying to chomp on the kids, I decided maybe.
I sure hope people understand that joke.
Did you hear that 911 call of the guy that called?
Yes,
it was on bath salts or something.
No, his cat was going crazy, and so his cat literally had them locked in their bedroom, and he's calling 911. My cat's attacking us.
Yeah, no, the cat started attacking their infant son, who's like 7 months old, just scratched, nothing major. And so somehow he and his wife and the kid were all stuck and in the bedroom, and he's calling 911 while he's trapped. Was it bedroom? I thought it was bathroom. For some reason.
Whatever. He's telling the operator that the cat had a history of violence.
Yeah.
And that he was going to have to go out and fight the cats who let the police into the house.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's great.
That's pretty awesome.
All right. So.
Number 2, have a healthy stock of woodland animals to survive on.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
And
that's true.
Duraflame logs for warmth.
You're thinking practical. That's good.
Chop them in half, make them
nice. Those woods people have to think practical.
In my remote cabin in the woods.
They're going to be the ones sheltering all of us, so you really should stockpile things.
That's right. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my plan is when the Russians invade us, I'm going to greet them with a song from their own country.
Do a
I think that might, kind of bridge that. Build a bridge.
It's going to ease tensions.
I think so.
Everybody's going to drop their arms and just kind of link arms.
If they just come in and they hear me listening to this music, they'll be like, okay, he's one of us.
It'll certainly put them in a good mood.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They won't get offended at all.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I think the next one I was going to do is going on the whole theme of nuclear holocaust, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start stocking up now on Twinkies.
Ooh, nice.
They're the only thing that is going to really survive.
That's one thing we learned from what movie? Zombieland.
That's right, Twinkies. Yep. That's right. And since they came right back on the market within the past year, I say let's have at.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've been dying to eat a Twinkie ever since they made a comeback. I still have not. I know.
I really think that image of what I have in my mind is a Twinkie being delicious is going to be dashed the moment I take my first bite.
Nice.
So that's probably why I haven't actually.
See, I don't have to worry because I still have one from 4th grade, and it still seems like it's fine.
Still in pristine condition.
Their whole going out of business deal didn't really bother me.
That's awesome.
I'm like, it's going to be good for a long, long time.
That's
Think
awesome.
about
that's
putting it
true.
on eBay and selling it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's date stamped. My turn. Is it your turn?
No, it's yours.
My turn. Yeah. I've realized, gentlemen, that over these last weeks, especially with these weekly updates, I'm actually preparing for World War III, and I haven't even known it.
Really?
Really?
Well, I need to learn how to ride an all-terrain vehicle efficiently.
No, and there you
And that's
go.
just what you did.
can
And
even
what
get
have
up,
I been doing?
You can
You
get
know,
up to 2nd gear
I
on a
can get up
quad.
to so as long as the Russian horde
You're going to be very
cannot
resourceful.
go faster than 20 miles an hour,
You're going to be very resourceful.
I wouldn't be able to get away.
Okay, so I'm just going to present you with a hypothetical, just kind of situation, and I really want you to answer truthfully. Okay,
I'm prepared, Nate. I
Okay,
don't care what you
it's
say.
World War III. Russians and Jamaica and everybody else is invaded.
Sure.
Okay, you're safely up in the hills, right? Cowan
got
and
my
I
fortress.
have barely escaped with our lives.
Yeah.
We don't even want to say what happened to our families, but it's the two of us. We make our way up to your log cabin because that's what you live in, and no,
Well,
and you know, there's only supplies for one of us.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
good.
this is good.
Who are you going to let through that door? Who are you going to let through the door and then reluctantly point the rifle at the other one? Because the other one is going to be begging to die if he knows he can't go in.
Well, seeing as how I wasn't willing to shoot a raccoon,
You can't dodge this one.
I might let you two figure it out. Just throw,
No, and
throw
you
the
know what-
rifle
you know-
on the
you-
ground.
here's
I'm
the
going to
thing.
throw the gun out the door.
You know what? You know what we would figure out?
How to
Hey,
kill me.
Nate, let's take his house.
I'll get up on the roof and set it on fire. All right, let me throw this into the mix. Let me sweeten the deal. Cowan has what seems like a really, really bad cough.
Oh, come on.
Now what? No, I'm just kidding.
How many Twinkies you got with you?
Oh, buckets.
You're in.
Just kidding.
Sorry, Cal.
All right.
I know we're related, but
Fair enough.
he brings food.
What
I've been
next,
eating
guy?
raccoon for the last 30 days.
I need something with
I need something
sucrose.
sweet.
Too late. You already threw me the gun.
That's right. Boom. Nate's dead.
Grab his Twinkies. Come in.
So I figured out Russian villains are basically, they're always either some like facially distorted bad guy, you know, either with teeth or balding or, you know, something. They're always, Russian villains are always, you know, they've
Or
got,
short
or,
and chasing after Bullwiggle.
or there's some like, you know, sexy Russian spy.
All right. Fair enough.
Natasha.
So basically, it's going to go one of two ways. I'm either, you know, if it's the ugly, distorted, bald guy, I'm just going to defect. I'm going to be like, you know what, this country's heading down to the dumper anyways. I'll join you guys, and you know, I'll be a Russian spy or whatever.
Nice.
If it's a sexy spy, then I'll just seduce her into being an American and win her over, and then we'll have a double spy, and we'll be good. So
That's awesome.
A double spy?
A double spy.
a double agent. Yeah.
Oh,
You know.
You didn't clone your spy. Got it.
No, I did not.
All right.
I did
Double
not use
spy.
the cloning machine.
Double your spy, double your surveillance.
Yes.
Double spy gum.
So that's my plan.
Cool. I have down, and I'm actually trying to wonder why I wrote this down. I wrote, perfect my cursive writing. And let me explain.
That's random.
Majority of the students that I tutor, in fact, every single one I tutor, nobody knows how to read cursive writing nowadays. Not a one of my
Really?
kids.
Knows how to read. Not
knows how
write.
to read or write.
Wow.
Cursive writing.
Not just
They've
write,
done
but-
away with it in schools.
Yeah. Oh my
And
God.
so
Sure, you're probably typing everything
I
now, right?
write it on the blackboard. It's like I'm writing Egyptian hieroglyphics as far as they're
It's like
concerned.
shorthand.
They're like, what is this gibberish
oh my God.
that you write?
Really?
So I figure America's we're pretty tough. I think ultimately, we will win a World War III. Don't ask me how, but I think we will.
Okay.
And I think because there's no justice in this world, it'll be the dumb young generation that actually wins by just a stroke of luck.
Nice.
And I think if we whippersnappers can master cursive language, and they'll be looking to us because we're their elders, we will rule. We will rule the nation because we'll be able to communicate secretly behind their backs.
Yes.
Nobody can hack that. It's not like hacking into a Wi-Fi or anything. All we literally have to do is take an 8.5 by 11 college-ruled piece of paper and a pencil, and we will dominate among these young
We're like kicking it
these
Middle
young men and
Ages
women.
style where they knew how to read.
That's right.
Nobody else did, so we make the rules.
Quant by that time will be raising carrier pigeons, and all we have to do is roll up little tubes of paper, tie them on, send them off. They don't know how to hunt. They've poo-pooed guns their entire life. A bunch of liberal commies. That one's for you, John. So...
That's great.
I think by studying and perfecting our cursive writing, we can rule the information highway. Well, and especially since wars are all about special technologies.
Sure.
Has anybody heard of an EMP? Who's to guarantee that World War III won't set off a massive worldwide EMP and we are going to be dead in the water electronically?
Meltdown.
Yeah.
So you're envisioning more of a generational war than
It depends.
than like a geographic.
No, I think the generational war will occur after our geographical victory.
Okay. Gotcha. Nice.
I'm thinking a couple wars in advance, gentlemen.
There you go. You've got
Just
World
saying.
War IV.
The apocalypse has
3.5.
happened.
That's right. The apocalypse has happened.
Let's have a 5-year plan after that.
That's right.
Nice.
I think we're middle of the road. The elderly will die from toxic weapons. The young will
just
kill
old
each other
enough,
off because they're so aggressive.
We're not dumb enough to get involved in all of that.
We know to take some vitamins. We'll be fine.
Nice.
We need to figure out another way.
Planning ahead. I like
I
that.
said, I pulled that one out of my butt. All right, next.
Brilliant tie-in.
That's all I got.
That's all I had. I say we end on that.
Final one.
Okay.
One.
All right.
I think it's very important. What if the Russians win?
Oh.
We have to take that into account. And I think, aside from playing their favorite tunes,
Right.
Which is just A-list.
See,
in
mine
my book.
sort of assume that they already won.
Cowan's approach is win the hearts and minds.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Win them by your charm.
We're going to need to know how to speak to them. Mm-hmm. And we're going to need to know how to use their dialect. And we're going to need to know that everything's going to be okay. So, starting right now, until World War III begins and their potential victory is on the horizon, I'm going to watch The Hunt for Red October every single day.
Yes.
Up top.
Every
There it
single day.
There it is.
The main thing I learned from that movie is that Russians, you think they have Russian accents, but actually they have Scottish accents. It's a little known fact about Russia.
If there's one thing I've learned about Russians is they have a fantastic Scottish dialect.
Yes.
So if we work on that, but we learn how to speak Russian at the same time.
And never overlook the cook.
Never, ever overlook the cook.
You keep your eye on
As
that
the saboteur.
All right?
Yes.
That guy is capable.
For those of our younger
Am I the
listeners,
only one who's a little bit disturbed by the fact that Sean Connery went from fighting the Russians to becoming a Russian? Ooh.
Very true.
Wow.
There's got to be some
Do your history
significance
homework there, everybody.
That's right. If you have not seen From Russia with Love or The Hunt for October, do it now. Don't wait another moment.
Who's Sean Connery? Is he the guy from that
I know,
Hobbit
right?
movie?
We are getting to that point.
It's
gentlemen.
true. It's true.
Anywho. All right. Well, I think those are all good.
Well done. Well done,
All
sir.
right. Well, I do have one more thing that needs to be discussed that's completely unrelated to this. Nate.
Oh, dear.
When we last met
Yes.
and podcasted,
Yes.
there was a bit of a cliffhanger that is as of yet unresolved.
Yay, anticlimactic.
So, I have two questions for you.
Okay.
So the first question is,
Yes.
who won the weight loss competition at work?
Oh, yes.
Quant, who do you think? Let's place bets.
I'm betting against Nate. Sorry.
Me too. Yeah, we're both betting against you.
chance.
Nothing
It's-
personal.
I was going against like 12 women that had a point to prove. I didn't stand a chance. I can say that. I came in third. I thought I was going to come in second, but apparently
What?
another woman has some secret she won't divulge. Detox, like cleansing procedure. I call it a colonoscopy.
Anybody can do that.
AKA liposuction.
And she swooped in the last week and took second overall.
I don't
Doesn't
know
matter.
how she went from 400 pounds to 150 overnight.
But her surgeon will never tell.
So your coworker that sits next to you took the
She
prize.
won. She took it all.
Wow.
She took it all. And you know what? Kudos to her. She did not flinch for all 8
All right.
weeks.
She was in it to win.
Me, I had 2 weeks where, man, I was just depressed, and I ate whatever the heck I wanted.
Those Twinkies were looking
Yeah.
mighty delicious.
No,
All
I know.
you got out of the
I know.
deal was a healthier lifestyle.
I did. I
Lame.
did. So I didn't win. What was your other question?
My other question is, did you do the quesarito?
Gentlemen, I am so ashamed to be admitting this.
Oh my gosh.
But over the weekend,
yes,
I did it twice.
Yes! Oh man, Chipotle hates you now.
I am not lying when I say it is the most delicious burrito I've ever had in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I need to do this.
Were you by yourself
Now,
when you
I
did this,
didn't-
or were you with people?
Did they spit in your quesadilla?
I was by myself, yes, and it was one of those things where as soon as I said, "Do you make the quesarito?" all 5 people on the assembly, just heads turning. No, it was the guy just said, "You want the quesarito?" Yeah, fine, and then he just made. And so I thought they used a full double-sided quesadilla to actually wrap the burrito.
Oh yeah.
Turns out most Chipotles like to cheat. And it's okay. It's still delicious. Don't get me wrong. They make a quesadilla, the half moon,
Okay.
and then they open it back up and then pile all the burrito stuff in there.
Okay.
Got it.
Still fantastic.
Okay.
Still
So not a
fantastic.
burrito
So
inside
there's no cheese between 2 tortilla borders.
Yeah.
But there
All
is
right.
a delicious grilled melted cheese on the
Oh my
inside.
God.
Still sounds
and
amazing.
a nicely toasted grilled tortilla on the outside. And gentlemen, it's just
Oh my gosh. I want to go to Chipotle
I'm just saying.
right now.
I'm just
oh my
saying.
gosh.
So try it. The quesarito. Apparently, they have like 10 things on their secret menu. I would look forward to trying every single one.
Wow.
So
Need to
it's
find
worth
that
it.
secret
The
menu.
quesarito. Claim it. They will
Nice.
make it.
Wow. Brilliant.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Pop Mockers. Special thanks to Johnny Cowan and the Royaltons for our intro and outro music. How do you plan to survive World War III? Leave a comment on our show notes at popmockers.com/23. Sponsor show for only $5 for comics, videos,
That's not
and
the
more
right
original and sponsor a show for only $5. It will help us keep bringing you this top quality humorous content. We'll read your name and a message on the air. For contact information, show notes, and links, or to sponsor a show, visit popmockers.com. For comics, videos, and more original and entertaining podcasts, visit BreakroomStudios.com.